France has been the world's most popular tourist destination for over 2 decades. With more than 82 million visitors annually coming from all around the world, there is no secret that France offers its visitors much more than its cheeses and wines. Come to follow the trail of France's great philosophers, writers, and artists, some to immerse themselves in the beautiful language it gave to the world, and others are drawn to the country's geographical diversity, with its long coastlines, sophisticated culture, breathtaking landmarks, exquisite cuisine, fine wines, romantic chateaux, and picturesque countryside. Welcome to Multi-City Trips, the multi-destination travel expert for personalized multi-city trips to Europe. And in today's video, we give you our pick of the top 10 must-see attractions in France. New to our travel channel? Subscribe to Multi-City Trips and ring the bell so you don't miss out on our latest video version of our travel guide, inspiration, tips, and customized itineraries available to your favorite destinations in Europe. For this list, we focus on the best attractions you don't want to miss when visiting France for the first time. So, if you do not already have a good reason to visit France, get ready to be inspired by our top pick attractions we are about to present. Number 10. Cathédrale Notre-Dame de Paris. Notre-Dame de Paris, referred to simply as Notre Dame, is a medieval Catholic cathedral on the Ile de la Cité in the 4th arrondissement of Paris. The cathedral was consecrated to the Virgin Mary and considered to be one of the finest examples of French Gothic architecture. Its pioneering use of the rib vault and flying buttress, its enormous and colorful rose windows, as well as the naturalism and abundance of its sculptural decoration set it apart from the earlier Romanesque style. Major components that make Notre Dame stand out include its large historic organ and its immense church bells. The cathedral's construction began in 1160 under Bishop Maurice de Sailly and was largely complete by 1260, though it was modified frequently in the following centuries. In the 1790s, Notre Dame suffered desecration during the French Revolution. Much of its religious imagery was damaged or destroyed. In the 19th century, the cathedral was the site of the coronation of Napoleon I and the funerals of many presidents of the French Republic. Popular interest in the cathedral blossomed soon after the 1831 publication of Victor Hugo's novel Notre Dame de Paris. Number 9. Arc de Triomphe. The Arc de Triomphe de l'Étoile is one of the most famous monuments in Paris, France, standing at the western end of the Champs-Élysées at the center of Place Charles de Gaulle, formerly named Place de l'Étoile, the étoile, or star of the juncture formed by its 12 radiating avenues. The location of the arc and plaza is shared between 3 arrondissements, 16th, 17th, and 8th. The Arc de Triomphe honors those who fought and died for France in the French Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars, with the names of all French victories and generals inscribed on its inner and outer surfaces. Beneath its vault lies the tomb of the unknown soldier from World War I. As the central cohesive element of the Axe Historique, the Arc de Triomphe was designed by Jean Chalgrin in 1806. Its iconographic program pits heroically nude French youths against bearded Germanic warriors in chainmail. It set the tone for public monuments with triumphant patriotic messages. Inspired by the Arch of Titus in Rome, Italy, the Arc de Triomphe has an overall height of 50 meters, a width of 45 meters, and a depth of 22 meters, while its large vault is 29.19 meters high and 14.62 meters wide. Number 8. Chateau de Champort. In Champort, Centre Region, France, is one of the most recognizable chateaux in the world because of its very distinctive French Renaissance architecture, which blends traditional French medieval forms with classical Renaissance structures. The building, which was never completed, was constructed by Francis I. Champort is the largest chateau in the Loire Valley. It was built to serve as a hunting lodge for Francis I, who maintained his royal residences at the Chateau de Blois and Amboise. The original design of the Chateau de Champort is attributed to the Italian architect Domenico da Cortona. Leonardo da Vinci may also have been involved or influenced the design. Chambord was altered considerably during the 28 years of its construction, during which it was overseen on-site by Pierre Neveu. With the chateau nearing completion, Francis showed off his enormous symbol of wealth and power by hosting his old arch-rival, Emperor Charles V, at Chambord. In 1792, in the wake of the French Revolution, some of the furnishings were sold and timber removed. Number 7. Verdun Gorge. The Verdun Gorge is a river canyon located in the Provence-Alpes-Côte d'Azur region of southeastern France. It is about 25 kilometers long and up to 700 meters deep. It was formed by the Verdun River, which is named for its turquoise-green color, one of the location's distinguishing characteristics. In between the towns of Castellane and Moustier-Sainte-Marie, the river has cut a ravine to a depth of 700 meters through the limestone mass. At the end of the canyon, the Verdun flows into the artificial lake of Sainte-Croix. The gorge is very popular with tourists, who can drive around its rim, rent kayaks to travel on the river, or hike. The limestone walls, which are several hundreds of meters high, attract many rock climbers. It is considered an outstanding destination for multi-pitch climbing, with 1,500 routes available ranging from 20 meters to over 400 meters. Number 6. Jardin de Luxemburg. The Jardin de Luxemburg, also known in English as the Luxembourg Gardens, is located in the 6th arrondissement of Paris, France. It was created in the beginning in 1612 by Marie de Médicis, the widow of King Henry IV of France, for a new residence she constructed, the Luxembourg Palace. The garden today is owned by the French Senate, which meets in the palace. It covers 23 hectares and is known for its lawns, tree-lined promenades, flower beds, model sailboats on its circular basin, and the picturesque Medici fountain, built in 1620. The name Luxembourg comes from the Latin Mont Lucuticis, the name of the hill where the garden is located. Number 5. Le Mont Saint-Michel. Le Mont Saint-Michel is an island and mainland commune in Normandy, France. The island is located about 1 kilometer off the country's northwestern coast, at the mouth of the Quenon River near Avranches, and is 7 hectares in area. The mainland part of the commune is 393 hectares in area, so that the total surface of the commune is 400 hectares. As of 2015, the island has a population of 50. The island has held strategic fortifications since ancient times, and since the 8th century AD has been the seat of the monastery from which it draws its name. The structural composition of the town exemplifies the feudal society that constructed it. On top, God, the abbey and monastery; below, the great halls, then stores and housing, and at the bottom, outside the walls, houses for fishermen and farmers. The commune's position, on an island just a few hundred meters from land, made it accessible at low tide to the many pilgrims to its abbey, but defensible, as an incoming tide stranded, drove off, or drowned would-be assailants. Mont remained unconquered during the 100 Years' War. A small garrison fended off a full attack by the English in 1433. Number 4. French Riviera. The French Riviera is the Mediterranean coastline of the southeast corner of France. There is no official boundary, but it is usually considered to extend from Cassis, Toulon, or Saint-Tropez on the west to Menton at the France-Italy border in the east, where the Italian Riviera joins. The coast is entirely within the Provence-Alpes-Côte d'Azur region of France. The Principality of Monaco is a semi-enclave within the region, surrounded on 3 sides by France and fronting the Mediterranean. The Riviera is an Italian word that corresponds to the ancient Ligurian territory, wedged between the Var and Magra rivers. The Côte d'Azur, or French Riviera, is a nickname given by France to the county of Nice after its annexation in 1860, because the Rhine and the Mistral were stopped by the Alps, and the climate was similar to that of the north of Italy, even in winter, with a sky as blue as its sea, the French Riviera. After the 2000s, it was extended to the rest of southern France, although the geography, culture, or climate is different. The county of Nice is a mountainous area like Italy, which stands out from the south of France. Number 3. Palace of Versailles. The Palace of Versailles was the principal royal residence of France from 1682, under Louis XIV, until the start of the French Revolution in 1789, under Louis XVI. It is located in the department of Yvelines, in the region of Île-de-France, about 20 kilometers southwest of the center of Paris. A simple hunting lodging and later a small chateau with a moat occupied the site until 1661, when the first work expanding the chateau into a palace was carried out for Louis XIV. In 1682, when the palace had become large enough, the king moved the entire royal court and the French government to Versailles. Some of the palace furniture at this time was constructed of solid silver, but in 1689, much of it was melted down to pay for the cost of war. Subsequent rulers mostly carried out interior remodeling to meet the demands of changing taste, although Louis XV did install an opera house at the north end of the north wing for the wedding of the Dauphin and Marie Antoinette in 1770. The palace has also been a site of historical importance. Number 2. Louvre, or the Louvre Museum. The Louvre, or the Louvre Museum, is the world's largest art museum and a historical monument in Paris, France. A central landmark of the city, it is located on the right bank of the Seine in the city's first arrondissement. Approximately 38,000 objects from prehistory to the 21st century are exhibited over an area of 72,735 square meters. In 2019, the Louvre received 9.6 million visitors, making it the most visited museum in the world. The museum is housed in the Louvre Palace, originally built as the Louvre Castle in the late 12th to 13th century, under Philip II. Remnants of the fortress are visible in the basement of the museum. Due to urban expansion, the fortress eventually lost its defensive function, and in 1546, Francis I converted it into the primary residence of the French kings. The building was extended many times to form the present Louvre Palace. In 1682, Louis XIV chose the Palace of Versailles for his household, leaving the Louvre primarily as a place to display the royal collection, including, from 1692, a collection of ancient Greek and Roman sculpture. Number 1. The Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower is a wrought iron lattice tower on the Champ de Mars in Paris, France. It is named after the engineer Gustave Eiffel, whose company designed and built the tower. Constructed from 1887 to 1889 as the entrance to the 1889 World's Fair, it was initially criticized by some of France's leading artists and intellectuals for its design, but it has become a global cultural icon of France and one of the most recognizable structures in the world. The Eiffel Tower is the most visited paid monument in the world. 6.91 million people ascended it in 2015. The tower is 324 meters tall, about the same height as an 81-story building, and the tallest structure in Paris. Its base is square, measuring 125 meters on each side. During its construction, the Eiffel Tower surpassed the Washington Monument to become the tallest man-made structure in the world, a title it held for 41 years until the Chrysler Building in New York City was finished in 1930. It was the first structure to reach a height of 300 meters. Due to the addition of a broadcasting aerial at the top of the tower in 1957, it is now taller than the Chrysler Building by 5.2 meters. There you have it. Our top pick of the top 10 must-see attractions you can't miss when traveling in France. Did your favorite attraction make our list? Comment below with your list of places you would like to visit when in France. Need help planning and finding the best package deal for your next European vacation to France? Visit us at multicitytrips.com today and see how our travel experts can help you design the best package for your multi-city European vacation.